Hey, one of our favorite residents here in Trekland is, well, he's no stranger to you fans of DS9, much less the 4400. And his new show, Alphas, is just out on SyFy. They're in the early episodes, and, well, he was great enough to give us a visit. Let's go see what Ira Steven Behr's up to. Ira.
Yes, Larry.
We're rolling. Good to see you again.
Rolling.
Oh, you're...
Keep them doggies rolling.
I'm sorry, I thought the remake of Rawhide was down the hall. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure it's coming soon.
The way Hollywood is, who knows? Yeah. Well, Ira, when we last saw you, although I was late to post it, you were working on a novel during the writer's strike. How'd that turn out?
Great. It's done. I finished it in either October or November and got this job in December. I said to my agents, okay, I'm ready to go. And next thing I knew, I was gone. And here I am.
There you go. So the novel was numero uno, and you waited till you got it done before you looked around.
Yes. I mean, I could name some shows that I had been offered that I turned down, but that would be gauche. So I turned down a bunch of things that made my agents slowly angrier and angrier, I think, but eventually I was done. There was no reason. I had to leave my house finally. I'd been in my house at that point for a solid year, basically just working away. So now the book is out to literary agents, not even to publishers yet. It's a very slow process. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you. If I knew when I started the book how slow, I knew nothing about publishing. I'm glad I didn't know, because I never would have. I would have said, holy, are you telling me that that's how they do it?
Well, it was really secretly just therapy anyway, wasn't it?
Well, it was definitely therapy. But, once you're done with it, and you got 300 and whatever it is, 46 pages of prose, you want someone to see it. You don't want to, Emily Dickinson isn't my role model, so I don't want to just put it away. But, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So, December brought you to this place, which doesn't betray anything of Alphas, but that's where we are.
Oh, there's a couple of alpha things up there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Nice generic office call. Yeah, production schedules. Okay, I believe you.
It's all alphas. Alpha.
Oh, okay.
Alpha, Licorice, Yankee Stadium, and other sort.
Oh, those Yankees. Correct. Okay.
So there you are.
There you go. Now, that looks like a computer. Has your yellow pad taken a farewell finally, or?
Well, I did write the book, as I told you, on the computer. I'm almost never in this office. I'm either in the writer's room. Robert Wolf from Deep Space Nine, and from the 4400 is here with me, so we work together a lot. And my window looks out over a parking structure. His looks out over the the Capitol Records building. So we work in his office. So I am virtually never in here unless it's to hire someone. So.
Or entertain boors and blowhards.
No, don't label yourself.
It was too easy. It was a silver platter. That's what we're really here, and it's about to debut, but as I said, a lot of people may not realize what a history this show already has.
It's getting out there now, because quite a lot of the publicity is based around, it's not quite Richard Attenborough and Gandhi, but Zach and Michael spent a long time getting this thing off the ground, and had it off the ground at ABC, which was probably a good thing it didn't go there, because they didn't want it. They were worried about the science fiction elements. So it's probably a good thing that it went to the SyFy network ultimately.
Well, that always begs the question. Well, maybe we should talk about what Alphas is. What is Alphas, for those who are...
Alphas is a new TV series, Mondays at 10 o'clock on the SyFy or the STV, or however you want to say it, channel. And it's about ordinary people with extraordinary abilities, which I know is ground that has been well, plowed in the last couple of years. I did some plowing of my own.
I was going to say.
But, it's all about the execution, and I think this show is unique enough in how it plays out that it's well worth revisiting. So it's basically about relatable people like you and I. Are we relatable? At least on the coasts. In the middle of the country, I don't know how relatable.
I can turn my Okie on and off.
There you go. But it's about ordinary people who, because of their abilities, become investigators for the government. These are not trained people except for one man, Bill Harkin, who's an ex-FBI agent who does have training, but none of the rest do. So they're not exactly the team you might handpick to solve interesting and strange cases. But I don't want to make the show sound like it's a procedural. It has procedural elements to it, but it's not NCIS or whatever those initial shows
whatever
are.
The acronym of the
It's got quite a bit of humor. It is a character-based show, and it's got a pretty cool mythology behind it, because every show in the genre needs a cool mythology that makes sense, and I think this one ultimately does make sense. And I think it's well worth the time and effort to sit down in front of your big screen, flat screen television, or on your computer, or on your iPhone, or whatever. iPhone is a trademark, by the way. More props to them, and watch it. I think it's kind of cool.
Okay, so we were elliptically referring to shows such as Heroes and the 4400. So what made it something you wanted to get involved with that was set it apart enough for you? I guess that would be what would.
Well,
you mentioned the humor, and I've read a lot about humor.
Yeah.
Associated with coming out of the characters and being.
Yeah, that obviously had a lot to do with it, because this is a show that is geared for that. So I think the humor will actually work. The actors are really strong, and I felt, having watched the pilot, there were two things that made me decide to do the show. One was watching the pilot and seeing potential there for a show that would keep me interested, as I came into work every day. So that's important.
That's a good thing. Right.
That's a very good thing. And then I met Zach and Michael, and it's a very kind of chancy thing when you come on to be the showrunner of a show, and the people who created the show are going to be there, but you're the showrunner. It doesn't always work out. I've had different experiences with that I did not want to repeat, but
not on DS9.
Well, no, not on DS9.
I'm just, we have a whole generation of new fans out there that weren't around.
Definitely not on Deep Space Nine. But, so I liked them.
Yeah.
And I could tell that they had enough confidence in themselves that they weren't going to have to be defensive and stuff, and that we could work together. And I also, to be honest, I just, I immediately thought of Robert Hewitt Wolf, that, we had talked for years about, and he had been on the 4400 for little bits of time, but never really for a full season. And I just had a feeling that, that this would be something that Robert and I could get back together again on. And oddly enough, before I even mentioned that, I got a call from his agent saying, "Hey, would you be interested in having Robert Wolf?" I said, "Reading my mind."
There you go. Uh-huh.
So those were the things that did it. Also, I'm a fan of David Strathairn, and
yeah, that was a very
that was something that made me excited, because I knew, you know, he would deliver, you know, and he's the sweetest, nicest guy once I met him.
And his character is where is that in the ensemble? It's an ensemble show too, isn't it?
You know, I like ensemble shows.
I've heard your association with them, yeah.
And I do prefer them. I really do. He plays Lee Rosen, Dr. Lee Rosen, who has, you know, the world's foremost authority on the alpha phenomenon. He does not have alpha abilities, and he, you know, put this group together for therapy reasons, to work with them. Every alpha has a downside. Either, you know, having a unique ability can affect you in many different ways. Some of them very ordinary, you know, downsides that we all can relate to. You know, alcoholism, anger issues, self-control issues, things like that. So it started out as a therapy group and a way to have these people kind of refine and control their abilities. And it was never meant to be a field operation or, you know, at all. And that's part of the interest of the show. You know, he's not a man who's comfortable, you know, flashing a badge and saying, you know, we're from the DOD. It's pretty funny, actually, watching them do it at times. So it all works, and it's shot, you know, Nick Copus, who worked with me on the 4400, that was his first job here in the States. He's from England, is the producer-director, and he's just the best director I've worked with in television. And I've worked with some good ones, but he is the best. And I got him on the show. I mean, I could see pieces that would fit, you know, together, you know, because I like working with people I like to work with. And Adam Levy, who was my assistant on a bunch of things and started writing when he was on Crash. I thought he'd come in as a staff writer, so, you know, it was going to be a comfortable fit. I knew I could get a bunch of people together.
He started as a PA on Enterprise, I think.
He started as a PA on Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. Oh, okay.
Then went to Enterprise.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't. Yes.
Yeah, he was a PA, a deep space loving PA who was like, it was pretty cute. I mean, it was enough just to come in the morning, and it made him happy just to see me. You know, yes,
paycheck,
I knew Gene Roddenberry, and yes, I worked with Ron, and I worked with Renee, and I sat talking to Patrick Stewart and to, you know, Avery Brooks, and yes, you know, I helped to get Andrew Robinson hired, and Jeff Combs as he got to meet all these people, so he was happy as a, whatever you want to say.
Then one day he said, maybe I should be getting a paycheck.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was just a good fit, you know. Yeah. Family people I consider family.
Good.
Don't be condescending.